What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh with Combat Sports Today. I'm joined today by Justin Longoria. How's it going, my man?
It's going great. It's going great.
Congratulations on that wicked round three ninja choke at FuryFC 109.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, can you just kind of walk us through that sequence? Like you kind of had him rocked, and then you found the choke. Can you just walk us through that real quick?
Yeah. So I always kind of felt the left hook being there. And so it finally just paid off. I landed the left hook and I dropped him. I went for the finish. He kind of came up a little bit. And as I did, he kind of fell into a choke, but I wasn't ready for a choke yet. I wasn't ready. I wanted to kind of get a TKO. Um, but he ended up taking me down with it, and I knew it was locked in. So I just squeezed until he was ready to tap.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hellacious choke. The commentator's like, "Oh yeah, that's locked up. He's not going anywhere." I mean, you kind of had a little high elbow gilly at the end of round two. Do you think you could have finished that if you had a little more time?
I felt it in there. I felt it in there. I was getting ready to jump it actually. I was getting ready to jump. I felt it locked in. I was like, I think I got it. And then I heard the bell and I was like, "Ooh, just missed it. Just missed it."
I mean, you got to join the Gilly Goose Gang up there with Dustin Poirier. I know you train over there at Gladiators.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, you miss 100% of the gillies you don't jump.
It's 100% true.
Kind of, going back to that fight, what was your corner saying? After round two, you were kind of down on the scorecards. What were they kind of saying to get you motivated to go out there and get that finish?
So it was me. They said I need to get out my head and to get in there. I'm down 2 rounds, and they let me know I was down. And it was either do or die. So that's what they're telling me, and that's what got me pumped and excited for this third round, honestly.
Definitely showed, and the commentators, I think they even mentioned something of, that's like the vintage Justin that, they're used to seeing, like going down, walking somebody down, going for that finish type that showed in the third round. I'm just going to give the people a quick rundown of you real quick, just in case this is the first time they're coming across you. You turned pro in 2022. You're 5-1 and you have one draw, two submissions, two KO TKOs. You went 5-0 as an AMI, all finishes in the amateur career. So, and I think most of your amateur career, and you debuted as a pro in Louisiana, correct?
Yes, sir.
Uh, what kind of prompted you to sign and stay with Fury FC?
Great promotion. Great promoter. I think Eric is one of the most coolest guy and very understanding. And I think there's no other circuit around Texas or like in the South that can compare to Fury. It's it's like a mini UFC almost. You get that environment, you get that pump, and then that pressure's on you too. Just enough pressure, not enough for the UFC yet, but it gets you. It's good practice.
I agree. They are one of the top feeder promotions into the UFC. You see in Alden Correa had a great debut at the UFC, came from Fury, Josh Van, obviously. And so great to hear, everybody I talk to always has great things to talk about Eric and the matchmakers at Fury. So it's a great consensus there.
Oh yes, oh yeah, very comfortable.
Looping back to you train under Eve Edwards with Thug Jitsu, obviously.
Yes,
Awesome
sir.
shirt there, and Tim Credeur at Gladiators. How do you manage that time? Because isn't Eve in Texas and Tim in Louisiana?
Yeah, so I actually just left Louisiana to go train full time and with Eves. I used to live in Lafayette, Louisiana for a few years. I'm just moving back to Houston. My fight camp, I switched it to Eve, so it feels a lot better. But I love to go back to Gladiators and visit every now and then, go train over there, my old head coach too. It's always a good time.
Those two guys were in the UFC. If you had to give,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure they've given you a lot of great advice, both of them over the years. If you had to pick one piece of advice from each of them, what is probably the best piece of advice that they've each given you?
Honestly, I think both of them. I've had the same talk with kind of both of them about like just mental wise. It's this fight game's a little hard coming up. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a few fights. I'm gonna get real big," and it takes time, and I think mental plays a big part. So they've kind of just helped me with my mental, and I wouldn't know exactly what advice like to say they gave me, but it's just keeping your head on straight, keep going. Don't let nothing bring you down, or don't let no negativity get in the way. Just keep pushing and keep your head positive. Yeah, I thought I put myself in a bunch of negative spots, and it's not good. So they kind of kept me positive and keep my mind right.
What got you into, combat sports and deciding to, hey, I want to be a fighter?
Um, my oldest brother's always loved the sport, so he was actually a MMA amateur fighter for a while. And while he was training before he started fighting, he would always come to me and my other three brothers. He would put on the UFCs, all the old ones. We'll grab some gloves and we'll start practicing it and fighting. And my brother Jordan, me and him were the main ones that used to fight. We used to put on gloves and just go at it, just brawl. We weren't too technical, but just go at it. And as I got older, I was like, you know what? My oldest brother did it. Watching him and the environment, it was just an excitement, a rush. And I was like, oh, I think that's what I want to do. Let's give it a shot, see if I'm good at it. And I'm pretty decent so far, so I'm sticking with it. But that's what got me going. Is my oldest brother.
Awesome, man. It's good to, to always have some, you know, family heritage kind of, to carry on the legacy inside of the family and, always something to look back on, as your career progresses and everything. Those days of just throwing on those gloves and brawling with the brothers in the backyard or in the living room.
Right.
You had a one fight in 2024 and you had two fights so far this year. When are you trying to get back into the cage this year? And if so, when are you looking towards?
I'm looking towards November. I definitely for sure want to get one more before this year ends, just so I can start the year off right and keep going and hopefully get that call soon.
That'll be two in a row starting off, like you said, starting off 2026 on some good momentum. I seen on the Tapology you had a couple catch weights. Are you settled on 125, or is there any talk of possibly moving up to 135 in the future, or where are we at
That's
there?
later on. I plan on fighting at 35, but that's years down the line. For now, I'm able to make 25 comfortably, so I'm gonna stick there. I did have a few bad weight cuts. I'm still trying to find my balance with it, but this weight cut was my best one so far, and I think I found it. I'm able to make 125 and still be comfortable.
Weight cuts seem to be very brutal from some of the, behind the scenes footage that we kind of see of fighters. And,
Oh, for
that's
sure.
definitely something that, has to be dialed in and learned to do safely as well. You are being one of the next generation of fighters coming up. And, we just had the tough finale just happen at Noche. Do you think, the Ultimate Fighter has kind of been replaced by the Contender Series since, that's going on as well right now as the preferred path for younger fighters into the UFC?
Definitely. I believe so. I've seen a lot more people getting the UFC through Contender Series, and let's talk about the Ultimate Fighter a lot. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to get a Contender Series spot, or
Yeah,
just a
that's
straight call.
Yeah, I mean, that's what most people nowadays are kind of leaning towards and is that Contender Series. And like I said, I wanted to kind of pick your brain on, being that next generation of fighters. That's like, yeah, we're probably just gonna not even kind of entertain that idea given the Contender Series happens now. And that is a kind of a direct signing ish.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. If I ever get opportunity to fight for tough, I'm taking it. It's a pretty cool little event too. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get eyes on you since, the whole reality TV aspect and, the somewhat following, it seems it's kind of lost its following over the years with viewers as well. But,
Yes, yes, that is true.
it could have its upswing. You never know. You never
Right?
know.
It could be a spike up there. It might just rock
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
Mm,
And I got a few things that are kind of outside the fighting realm.
mhm.
Just to kind of get people familiar with you to, they see your highlights, but try to get to know you as a person.
Yes, sir.
Is there a hobby or interest that you have that might surprise people? Like, do you a big gamer, play Dungeons and Dragons, collect something or anything like that?
Um, I don't know if it's surprising, but I like vehicles a lot. I love
Like,
vehicles. Like the performance side of them, customization wise, everything. That's my biggest passion, honestly. I like vehicles.
so if you could, what is your, because you probably spent a lot of time thinking about it, being, the car enthusiast that you are, your ideal dream car, if you had to not worry about any money, you can buy whatever car that you want today, what would it be?
Um, if I could buy any car,
Any
I,
vehicle that you ever wanted.
I think that I would put all my money towards to my own vehicle. Honestly, I'll say my own vehicle. It was actually a gift from my old boss. I mean, I consider him my uncle too. It's a 1997 GSR Integra with a J30 swap, and it has a bunch of body work to it. It's real customized, and I drove it around for a little while, but I need some money to fix it. So I think that would be my vehicle to get back on the road, and I would drive that every day.
Has, a good story, it came from, somebody that's basically, his family, that's good. So you need to get
Yeah.
a car part sponsor or something going.
Right, that's my main goal. That's my main goal.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm done fighting too, I want to open up my own performance shop. Maybe something to look into.
Hey, it's always good to have, a path after fighting. I don't know if you're a foodie or a big food person, but if you had to recommend one restaurant, what restaurant would that be, and what is your go-to order at that restaurant?
Oh, that's tough. Um, Restaurant wise, I think I'm pretty simple. I like Olive Garden. I like Olive Garden. I haven't tried too much restaurants. I haven't been around. I am I do eat a lot though. I do eat a lot. That's the funny part. I kind of stick to what I know. But I think Olive Garden. I like the chicken Alfredo with the broccoli. That's my go-to every time I go. I don't got nothing exciting on that one. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, you like what you like. Everybody has what
Right,
they like. So I can
right,
respect Olive Garden. I don't hate. I don't hate on the Olive Garden. And if you could train or spar with any fictional or non-fictional character, who would you pick to train or spar with?
Oh, we go Mighty Mouse. Demetrius
Mighty
Johnson.
Mouse. Oh, that's yeah, the goat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think same weight class, so it's impressive the stuff he pulls off and what he's able to do. It's just those tiny little details that he does that nobody else really does that I see. And I think learning from him would probably be the biggest help, honestly.
Yeah, like you said, he is the GOAT, accomplished a lot in the game and has a great mind for the sport as well. So solid
Mhm.
answer. Props to that one. And the last thing, just to kind of wrap it up, do you got any, family, sponsors, training partners, anybody you want to give a special shout out to real quick?
Actually, there's one partner I want to thank a lot. This fight camp, he helped me big time. 2 weeks out before the fight, I was in my head, just my negativity again, and we're sparring. I couldn't really find my rhythm. I was focused on my weight cut. I was just it was all messed up. Adrian Yanez actually. He pulled me aside after practice and had a real long talk with me and helped me through that whole little sparring session we did. And I've kind of just been living with that in my head for the build up to the fight. And I used him as a kind of motivation to get me pumped while I was in the fight also. Yes,
So it
sir.
sounds like you had a great support system, surrounding you in the gym and outside of the gym as well.
Oh yeah, the whole Thug University team, nothing but help, and great guys.